sorrow. Torí kò lówó. Ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀dá ti sọ́lẹ̀ tí wọ́n lò torí kò bímọ. Kò sẹ́ni tán lọ́rùn gbàgbé. Ẹ̀gbọ́n ọmọ Yèmí. Torí kò lówó. Láti sáré tí wọ́n lò torí kò bímọ. Ẹ̀yin ará mi, kò sẹ́ni tán lọ́rùn gbàgbé. Àsìkò ni kò ì tó. Bọ́nẹ́ máa jọ ọ̀sẹ̀. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, Brother Balógun, ṣẹlẹ̀ àlọ́jọ́ sí. Níṣẹ́ o lọ bí tirẹ̀ o. Gbẹ̀yìn aládọ́ lọ́mọ, kò sẹ́ni tán ọ̀run gbàgbé. Àsìkò ni kò ì tó. Wá kọjá mi olùgbàlà. Gbọ́ àdúrà mi. Má ṣe kọjá mi. Wahala for who no sabi Elijah song. Just the dance, even though you don't understand. This is Remilekun, Àrólé ọmọ Dáfídì. Korí fún Sarah bí obìnrin mọ́. Ọ̀nà ìyanu ló gbà Ísákì. Ọjọ́ làárọ̀ fi ṣàgbé. Ó torí Peter tó ṣèrànwọ́ fún. Kò gbàgbé nìkan, kò sẹ́ni tán lọ́rùn gbàgbé. Àsìkò ni kò ì tó. Sáré tí wọ́n lò torí kò lówó. Ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀dá ti sáré tí wọ́n lò torí kò bímọ. Tán lọ́rùn gbàgbé o, kò sẹ́ni tán lọ́rùn gbàgbé. Kò ì tó. Thank you so very much, Evangelist Remilekun Amos Àrólé ọmọ Dáfídì, for this wonderful song and very inspiring message. My name is Victor Olaore Omaseyin, Ọmọ Alaje Omoro, Ago Moni, Agbenokan Hewa, Agbenorijo Odontopa, Ọmọ Olugbo of Ugbo, Ọmọ Atòwúrọ̀ Kùtùkùtù Jágbémẹ́rú, Ọmọ Lẹ́bílòtàn, Ọmọ Àlàwọ̀ Olugbo, Ọmọ Abẹ́jà wẹ̀lẹ̀gbẹ̀lẹ̀gbẹ̀ bí ìmàlẹ̀ omi. Èmi náà ni ọmọ wọn ní Ugbo. Okay, so thank you very much. Àwọn míì wọn mọ oríkì ara wọn. Today, I want to quickly talk about documentation of visa processing and some of the reasons why visas have been rejected for so many people who really want to travel, and some common mistakes that people make. And this discussion is going to help us to be able to learn and see how we can tidy up some of those gaps, and then be able to be informed about some of the tips that can help us to enhance our application process. And it's also going to help us when you have a plan to travel out of the country to anywhere with your family, to go either for holiday or for business trip without wasting a lot of money. So thank you everybody for coming online. Thank you, Abel Shati. And thank you, my friend Edo for coming online as well. So before I go to talk about those common mistakes, I'm going to treat like 10 topics, 10 questions. These are some of the questions that I've been getting from some of my friends who have been sending me private message. So those questions they really want to know. And thank you, Ezekiel, my son. So some of these questions are very important. The first question is, how do embassies verify bank statements? So that's one question that somebody wants to know, that how would they verify a bank statement? Well, embassy that process visa application, they need to verify your bank statement. So the bank statement or the bank account that you submitted, they need to verify it. And one of the reasons why they are doing this is to confirm that you are the owner of the bank statement that you submitted. So what they are going to do, they have a contact in all the banks. So no matter any bank account you submitted, they have official email and contact officers that work directly with the embassies in those banks. So all they need to do is to scan your document. They scan all your bank statements and they forward it to the account officer who work directly with embassies in the bank from the head office of the bank. And then they are going to go into, of course, they are going to put something like, please verify this or give us a feedback about the authentication or the validity of this document. And then if you do not have a bank account or your bank information is different from what was submitted, that automatically is a disqualification because it is illegal for anybody to submit forged documents or to submit lie, or to make a lie. It's just like you're lying. So this is one of the way that um, embassies do verification of bank statements. So there's no how you can forge document and submit document. But let me make it clear that American embassy is different from every other country in the world. The reason is because American embassy do not give documents visas. They give you as a human being. So when they are talking to you, they don't care about your document. Whatever you are submitting is none of their business. Their business is you. They look at your genuinity. They are psychologists. They observe your response. They know when you lie. They know when you are faking it. So they just want you to be real. And so they don't have time for all of these. But a lot of embassies, apart from America, will go to every extent to verify not only your bank statement, but every other document that you've submitted to them. So you need to be very careful and watch out for this. So another question came that why are documents being verified? Hey, thank you, Michael. Thank you so very much. I am looking like, yeah, my son is as well as cute as myself. Thank you. So why are documents being verified? Every document has a verification process, and the authenticity of a document is necessary because it's going to help the embassies to learn more about you, to know who the person that is coming into their country is. And some of the reason why every embassy is tidying up this process is because there's a lot of issues with insecurity. You know about Boko Haram, you know about Fulani herdsmen, you know about the ICE, you know, learn about the Arcadia and all of those terrorists around the world. So, in order to be sure that anybody applying to come into their country is not going to be a threat to their security and to the peace of that country, they need to go to extent to ensure that all verification necessary is done. So it's not only your bank statement that is going to be verified, they are going to verify your national ID card if you submit one, your driver license, you submit one, and even marriage certificates. If you claim you are married and you submit a marriage certificate, there is a portal and there is a process where they go through whatever court is giving you the marriage certificate, be it high court, magistrate court, or customary court, whatever. they have a way of verifying the authenticity, especially with the numbers of those marriage certificates and the signature and the stamp. They have a way of confirming if it is genuine or not. So don't do fake. And again, if you claim to be a businessman and you have a CAC certificate you want to submit, every embassy has a way to verify. Even you can verify if a CAC certificate is original, if it is authentic or not. There's a portal on the CAC website. You just click on that. Yes. Thank you, Ola Samuel. Ola Samuel is saying US Embassy don't care about your millions. It's about reading you. Yes. So he's speaking from experience. American Embassy don't care about even your document. They care about you that they are talking to. So they do not give their visa to the documents. They are giving their visas to a person. So, but apart from American Embassy, Canadian, UK, Dubai, South Africa, every other countries in the world, they go extra mile in investing into document verification. So, if you submit a marriage certificate, they have a way to verify and confirm if this is original. If you submit, like you're processing a student visa, and you submit any, like your WAEC result, your NECO, your TC2, your first school living certificate, and including your NYC and all of those things, embassies have a way of verifying to see that this document is genuine. And when they write either NYC, NECO, WAEC, and all of those things, there is a website online, the portal is there. So if you actually submit an original document, it is easy for them to, by a click of a mouse, it is easy for them to confirm and know that this is genuine. So we should keep that at the back of our mind. And usually, some people can get an original document, but the original document could be gotten by either a fraudulent practice, like you go to get, you tip some officers and they prepare a document and they give you. So it's not about how the documents look, either birth certificate or CSC certificate or marriage certificate. It doesn't matter how it looks. What matters is the number, the authenticity, and the date, and all, and some other information. They have a way of confirming this. Let's keep that at the back of our mind when you're submitting application to any embassies. So another one asked a question: what the visa officers check? What do they check when you apply? Okay, officers do not use a checklist of requirements to be taken. Yes, you submit this or submit that, especially for American embassy. Instead, they try to learn to know more about you. So when they are interviewing you, not every embassy does interview. Some embassy do not do a physical interview. They go invest their time in doing background check, validation of the document that you submitted, and all of that. So those embassies, you need to always ensure that everything you are submitting, in fact, including those who do one-on-one interview, you need to be sure that you are submitting the right document to them. So US Embassy, for instance, they want to learn about you and they want to know who you are, and they will be asking you questions about the application, the reason why you want to travel. They want to know your family situation, if you're married, if you're single. They want to know your employment history. All of this reason is because they want to see if there's going to be a tie for you to come back to your country, or you're just going for holiday. So you should have that at the back of your mind. And then they want to know about your financial ability. Are you working? Are you sponsoring yourself? Do you have the financial strength in your bank statement? So all of this information needs to be known by when they ask you questions about where you work, how much is your salary, or stuff like that. Depending, they may ask more, they may not. And then they will also want to know if you have a sponsor who is planning this trip. What's your link, your relationship with the sponsor? Is it your family, your sister, or your cousin? You know, they want to know what's the link. Hey, Peju, thank you so very much. Elijah Imisiolua, thank you for coming online. Babatunde Abiodun, thank you all guys for coming online. They want to know all of this, and they also want to know about your future plan. What plan do you have for the future, what you're doing, and all of that. So you cannot just say, I just finished my NYC. You are not employed, you don't have a job. They are not going to, they would rather grant visas to students who are currently in the polytechnic or in the university, who want to go for learning exchange, or they want to have a tourist visit to be able to learn more about some specific thing that is part of their study, than giving a graduate who is not working or who's not doing anything visa. So that's the, I've just treated 3 questions. Oh, so the 4th question is, can I use an online bank statement for visa application? So you can use your bank statement or your online bank statement. And if you don't have a bank statement, maybe you're a student who is not working. If your parent is going to be the one sponsoring you, you need to have your parent's bank statement. Or if you have a legal guidance, you need to use the bank statement of your legal guidance, or the sponsor of your trip, the bank statement of the sponsor of your trip. And if you don't have any of those, you have your own bank statement. You can print it out online, but the embassy will only respect your bank statement if your bank statement is signed and sealed by the bank. So then another thing you need to watch out for is that your bank statement needs to be printed out on the letterheaded paper of the bank. Okay, so it won't cost you much to go to your bank and say, I need a bank statement for the past 3 months or the past 6 months, depending on what the embassy is asking from you. So, but the bank need to stamp and they need to sign on those bank statements. That's how the embassy knows that this bank statement is authentic or is genuine enough. And in fact, for American embassy, that's what they want to see. And every other embassy as well, despite that you submitted with a stamp, with a seal, they still send it, scan it and send it to the bank to confirm that this bank statement is genuine and is directly from the bank. So when you are submitting a bank statement, confirm that you have every necessary information like your name, your account details also needs to be in the bank statement you are submitting. Another question says that can I make a fake bank statement? Okay, so my honest answer with everybody is that nobody should create a fake bank statement for the purpose of passing it to any 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 embassy, or for the purpose of you doing any official document. You do not need to fake your bank statement. This is an illegal act and it may land you in problem. It may give you a trouble. Sometimes some of the reason why embassies denied visas or reject your visa application, they are not going to give you those reasons. You know, they have specific rules, specific laws that guide, and there's always classification for some of the offenses that applicants commit. So it is the embassy that have this information. They are the one that know that you've lied or you submitted fake documents, and they could note something in your application or your form, and that can be one of the reasons why you will be denied repeatedly. Every time you apply, you will be denied because, of course, they know that you submitted a fake document or it's already there that you lied. So you need to be very careful. And we should not always be thinking that embassy need you to have so much money in your bank statement. It's not all the time. If you're not the one sponsoring yourself, you don't need any so much money. I've seen friends who applied to the US embassy and they got visa with less than 100,000 naira in their bank account. So, irrespective of what you have, your genuinity matters, and they don't really care. So you don't need to do anything fake. It is illegal. Um, Now let me go to this specific. This is going to be like number 6, that I want to address. Why is visa rejected? Why are visas rejected? Why are applications denied? So in any visa application may be denied because the consular officer does not have all the necessary information required for them to determine if you meet the visa requirement. Okay, so that's one reason. And an applicant who does not qualify for the category of the visa that you applied for, that application may be denied. For instance, you want to apply for family visa, like yourself and your spouse want to travel together with your kids, and maybe you want say family migration, and family you take a family visa, for instance, and your lady, you guys are not married, you're just cohabiting. You know, in Nigeria, when you have a girlfriend and you already start having children, everybody think that this is my wife, this is my husband. So for embassies around the world, they do not see you as husband and wife. So the only reason why they see you as husband and wife is when you have a valid marriage certificate that shows that both of you are married. So some people go get married in the church or they do traditional engagement and that's it. There's no official legal law that binds both of you together. Embassy does not recognize if you have a marriage certificate from a church that is not approved by the law, because there are some church like Catholic Church, for instance, some of the marriage certificates of Catholic Church are recognized by law in some countries as a legal marriage certificate. So that depends on the law of the country, what the law says. So embassy is not forcing their own law or their marriage law on the country of the applicant. So they are going to be looking at the law of the country. Okay. So if you do not have all of those legal documents, then you guys are not married and you could be boyfriend and girlfriend, even if you have kids together, and the embassy is not going to give you those marriage certificates. So some of those reasons are very important. So another one is information review may indicate that applicants fall behind before, like you are not able to convince the interviewer or the processing officer so they can actually deny you visa. Okay. So if you have also committed a fraud in the past, you will definitely be denied visa for US. Very important. Everybody should understand that. But I think another thing that we can say, hey, let's laugh for Nigeria, is that we don't really have a database that shows some of those criminal informations, police arrest, and all of those things. So but everybody that have been convicted in Nigeria, that have been charged for one case or the other, taken to court, there is always that information sealed, and it's going to be very readily available for embassies around the world if they want to find out about this person. So they know how to do their own background check and they could get it. So, but if you have lied before in your previous application for US Embassy, UK, Canada, or any other countries, that information will always be there. And because of that fraud, they may deny you visa. Okay. So let me show you a very important thing. Like if you have a family member in abroad, for instance, who have committed fraud or who have done one or two things or been arrested in the country, and you mention that person in your application, you are going to be denied visa, no matter how genuine you are. So when I was at the embassy, in US Embassy in 2016, there's this man that came with a family. The man traveled all the way from Imo State, and then he has his wife and his two kids, grown-up adults anyway, a boy and a girl. So the man owns a filling station in Imo State. He's a businessman, and he submitted all his documents, all his business papers, the CACs, and every other document that shows that himself and his family are going for holiday. Of course, they can afford the trip, and the embassy has no rights or no reasons to deny the family the visa to travel. But one of the things that made them to get the rejection was that they mentioned the name of their son who live in the US, in the States. So when they mentioned the name of the son, and the officer was like, oh, your son, immediately they type the name of, because in America there's what we call social security. Everybody have a number. It's easy for the government to track and trace you. So they just type in the name and the information of their son. The son came out, and the son has been arrested. He's been convicted of several crimes, several things that he has done. Some of them are even immigration violations and all of that. So based on that tie between the guy who is the son of the man who is in the state, based on the ties and the mentioning of his name, all the family application was rejected. So it will have been easier and good for the man to just say he's going traveling with his family without mentioning anybody. So it's better you ask questions. Some of you that are looking for, my brother should send me an invitation letter, my sister should send me an invitation letter. If the person sending you an invitation letter has a criminal record, definitely you are never going to be getting your visa accepted. You are going to be denied. So I'll just classify the basic reasons why visas are being rejected into 7 categories. The first one is when you are unprepared. You know, a lot of time travel agents help you to fill your application form, and they do all those things and they submit. If you are not aware of the details and information that have gone into your application form, electronically the embassy has whatever you've submitted. Immediately you are submitting it, they know that you submitted, they know all the information. They will have started their own background check on you even before you appear at the embassy. So when you appear at the embassy and you are not prepared, you don't know the name of the company you said you work, the position you are, your duties, your terms of reference, some of the things you are doing. If you claim to be a teacher, for instance, they will ask you, what subjects are you teaching? You should be able to say, what's the name of the school where you're teaching? You should be able to say, what class or grade are you teaching? You should be able to say all of those things. So some of them you should be able to speak and be more proactive. That's if you understand the application content that was submitted on your behalf. But some people, an agent will sit somewhere in their office or in their house, they fill those. So I will advise everybody, even if somebody is helping you to fill your application form, always be by the side of the person. Both of you need to do together. So it's whatever information you give out to an agent that the agent should put in your um, information in your application. So you should be able to know what is going into your application, and it should be coming from you, not somebody helping you thinking that you understand when you don't understand. So when you are unprepared, if they're asking you questions, sorry, you are going to mess up. So I would advise that people eat good food before going to the embassy and relax their knife, depending on the time that you take. And then you should make sure that you are not stressed. If you have an interview in Abuja, for instance, and you are living outside Abuja, try to arrive a day before your interview date, and then relax your nerves and be calm, be in a more relaxed mode. Go through your application again, and you can be able to understand and know what you are going to be facing in terms of interview. Now, wrong visa is another reason why applications are being rejected. So if you are going for, let's say, tourist, for instance, you just want to visit for like a week and come back, and then you apply for student visa, you are definitely deceiving yourself. If you are applying for immigration visa when you're not ready, or that's not what you want, you are going to be rejected. If you're supposed to apply for work visa, for instance, if you have a company from abroad, you have an offer letter, they give you, and they're the ones sponsoring and all of that, and you're taking a tourist visa or something, it means you're applying for a wrong visa. So if you have a wrong category of visa, definitely your application could be rejected. Another one is incorrect information. So when you give an incorrect information, you are creating a doubt, you are creating a prejudice against your personality and your integrity. So you need to give correct information. Sometimes you give incorrect information because you're naive or you are anxious or you are, just calm, relax yourself. Anything you don't hear, ask again, tell the officer, please pardon me, can you repeat what you said? I didn't understand what you said. And definitely they are going to tell you again. So another one is if you have insufficient information. So if you are submitting, like, you don't have the venue, the address where you're going to stay, or the contact of the person you are going to stay with, definitely it's an insufficient information. So when you book an hotel where you're going to arrive to spend your holiday, the contact of the hotel in terms of email address, phone number, and address of the hotel also needed to be put in your application process so that they can confirm if they need to. If they doubt your reservation, they can confirm from the hotel, do Mr. ABC have a reservation in this hotel? And the hotel, yes, he has a reservation of so day from so time to so time. Simple as ABC. So if you submit an insufficient information, they will not most times give you the privilege of um, updating that information right there when you are being interviewed. So you are gone. So that's one of the reasons why we need agents or technical people who can help to support us in putting up these documents, guiding us, and ensuring that they go through the application again before you submit to see that you have done it perfectly well. And they shouldn't be charging you so much money. Not 100,000, 200, 300, 400, 500. They are not the one giving you visa. So you are going there because whatever money you pay to an agent, even if your visa is being denied, you will not get that money again because the money is not, why are you paying the money? And so that's why some agents these days, they will tell you that once you get your visa, then you can give them so amount of money. So that one is still very, very good. But of course, there's no point paying so much money when you can have some little information or tips that can help your application process. Now, one very important thing that we also need to take into consideration is overconfidence. Overconfidence. Overconfidence is another thing that a lot of people go for interview and they're very overconfident. When they talk, they're like, yeah, when they ask you one question, what's your name? What's your name means that tell them, my name is Victor Laurel Motion. Simple. What's your name? That's what they would care to know. Not like you say, "Hey, my name is Chief, Honorable," or adding, just be yourself. If you're a doctor, you could say, yes, you're a doctor. But once you say that, you're giving them a reason to ask you, what kind of doctor are you? And then you're already creating more avenue for them to question you the more. So be careful. So, do you know that giving too much information can also put you in trouble? If they ask you just one and you are telling them two, three, four, you are already giving them reasons to continue to deep. That's why some people go for interview and it's like 15 minutes. As long as 15 minutes, why should you be spending 15 minutes with at a visa interview? Because you talk too much, you know? So your interview at most depends on the kind of application, what you want to go to do, your documentation and the personality of the interviewer that is interviewing you. So do not give too much information that is necessary. They want to know, what's your position in the family? That are you the first child, the last child, or the middle? Just say that. You don't have to say, I have three step-brothers. My father married my sister, my stepmother, and then divorced, and they don't need all of those crap. So do not give too much information. And some people could be very disrespectful. So if you are disrespectful to the interview officer, you won't get it. So forget the fact that you are paying money. That is their country. They have the right to deny and accept people who want to go into their country. So when you talk to people, be polite, be nice in your response. Don't be rude and don't be aggressive and don't wear a negative face. So I want to share with you, there was this woman I met at the US Embassy. So she was on a wheelchair. Of course, she's going for medical, she's applying for a medical visa, or she's going like a medical tourist. She needed to get some treatment and all of that. So she was pulled on the wheel to the interview section, and then they were asking her questions. But before then, she started crying. She started breathing out. She was crying bitterly, crying so much. And the lady that was interviewing her, she's also a woman. The lady interviewing her asked her questions. When did you have this accident? She said, 5 years ago. You had an accident 5 years ago, and you're on the wheelchair because you cannot walk. And now you are applying for a visa to go for. So why do you choose US? And then she talked to her, and then why are you crying? So she paying, and they rejected her. The reason why they rejected her visa is that she's just pretending. For the fact that you're on the wheelchair doesn't mean you should be crying. You know, she's forgotten that they have camera outside in the reception everywhere where you guys are seated. From the time you, even before entering into the embassy, there are cameras everywhere. They have CCTV camera that see you, focus on you, and observe you. This woman was outside. She wasn't crying on the wheelchair. She was outside gisting with the lady that helped her to pull the wheelchair in, and they were gisting, talking, laughing. And then by the time it was time for her to go for the interview, she started crying. Crying for what? They won't give you visa because you are crying. Even if you have any disability or any health challenge, wear your best smile, be yourself, be real. Don't pretend. Don't try to convince anybody. It's not going to work. It's only in Nigeria where we feel very sympathetic unnecessarily, you know? So you had an accident 5 years ago and you're crying on the day you want to go for interview. So, and you are not crying outside at the embassy, in the front of the embassy, but you've forgotten there's a camera and there's an IT department that works on everybody's behavior, observe you, look at you and see how you are behaving. And they have used that to compare to your application. The summary is there. This person is good. Maybe they already recommended that this person is genuine, and then you came, you started pretending and started crying. It doesn't make sense. Now, communication barrier could be one of the reasons why your visa could be denied. So if an officer is talking to you, everybody have accents, like all these Oyinbo people now, and then get accent. They could be talking to you and be like, what's the name? What's the name? You say, Madam, I know here. I know. Do you have somebody that can speak Pidgin or Yoruba? Tell them. In every embassies, they have interpreters who can interpret to some of those languages. And in Nigeria, for instance, there are interpreters who understand basic language, Yoruba. I mean, major language, Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. The interpreters are available. You can ask for an interpreter. it's part of the visa processing fee that you submitted. They will give you an interpreter who will interact with you, interview you, ask you questions. So you don't need to pretend as if you understand English when you don't understand English. So the NACAM, when my friend mom wanted to travel, she went to the embassy. Immediately she got there, the embassy people they started speaking English, and the woman laughed and said, "Madam, I don't understand all this English way they talk. Oh. Now, PD me, I understand. So if you get person way fee interpreter for me, simple as ABC. They brought somebody who understand. The woman is from Nigeria Delta. They started yarn. Hey, my son, thank you, Jade. This Oyibo, I don't understand what she they talk. What be the question again? You are already sealing the moment, and you are taking charge of the interview process. So don't try to because if you are saying, huh, what do you say? Or you are giving a wrong answer to a different questions, you are creating problems for yourself. So thank you everyone coming online. Thank you so much. We're discussing about visa documentation and the reason why visas have been rejected. Now, let me treat another seventh question. What does refused visa mean? If you are given a blue paper, for instance, and the US embassy or any other country deny you visa, but I'm going to be using some laws in the US because I'm very much familiar with some basic. I'm not a lawyer, but I understand some basic around this, and that's why I'm sharing with you. So a visa refusal under section 221 of the section 221 subsection G of the Immigration and Nationality Act of the United States means that applicant does not establish eligibility for a visa to the satisfaction of the consular officer. So that doesn't mean that you are not submitting a genuine document or anything, but it means that you are not able to convince the interviewer that you are eligible to get a visa. So you can reapply again. Okay? So you can reapply again if you are denied. But mind you, you can only apply within the same year without paying another money. So you don't need to pay another visa fee for the same year if you are denied. And even if you are denied under section 291 of the Immigration and Nationality Act of the United States, you can reapply again. Okay, so these are some of the basics that you need to know. So you check the blue paper that was given to you, and when you look at the blue paper, they are going to tell you the reasons why you were denied. Not like basic reason, but they will just summarize it and make reference to some of these immigration sections. They could say, due to you are not able to meet up this satisfaction because of section 221G, that you are not able to yes, thank you very much, Idowu Ezekiel, for this wonderful remembering or kind of posting. So, how many times visa can be rejected? Hey, this question tough. We wear keto. We carry picking. Well, a new visa applicant form should be filled out. However, no new application fee is required. Due for you if you apply within the same 1 year that you pay your visa fee. And then if your visa is being denied or rejected under section 221 subsection G of the Immigration and Nationality Act that I said, or under section 214 subsection B, you can reapply again at any time. Within the same 1 year, you are not going to be denied, and you are not going to pay any applicant fee. So, but you should be able to learn some of the things, some of the lessons, be observant, know some of the things that really happened or went wrong that day. Okay. So all of this, you are also going to be a best teacher for yourself. And the ninth question is, does US visa rejection affect the UK visa? Now, I'm going to answer in the affirmative. I will say yes, and I will say no, because it depends on the reason why your visa is being rejected. But let me clear it that both US and the United Kingdom, even Canada, they have a very strong bond together, and they share information, including immigration information. These countries share it together. So when you are denied visa, but they do not put denial on your passport, no embassy is going to know that your visa has been denied in particular country or embassy. So except if they stamp your passport to say denied, then there's a lot of cause for alarm. So, but most times when they deny you your visa, they should be able to give you your passport. But if they do not give you your passport and they stamp denial on your passport, that's a big one for you. But it is advisable if you have an opportunity to be interviewed in another country embassy that you want to go to, if they ask you questions about if you applied for this country, it means they know, they have the information. So you can say, be honest. It's not a crime to say, yes, my visa was denied or I was rejected in the US embassy. They could want to know more and ask you why. You can say, oh, well, I think maybe I don't meet the eligibility criteria, or the officer wasn't convinced enough, or you just be yourself. They are going to give you visa. So be real, be yourself, be really be real. So don't pretend to be who you are not, okay? So another thing is, let's look at the rejection rate. In the world, I'm going to be looking at few countries. Let me start with US, for instance. Nigeria has the highest number of visa rejection and visa denial for applicants who are applying for United States. Truly, we have a very high number of applicants who are applying to the United States, but Nigeria has 57.5% rejection rate of all the applicants. That's like 2018 data. You can see the statistics there is a very high one, 57.5%, and that's the highest rejection rate any country in the world could have. Nigeria has it. So it's one of the reasons why you need to abreast yourself with some of those basic information. Even if an agent is working with you, you learn and know more about some of those things you need to do for yourself, so you can also guide. Like I said in my earlier post, that some of these agents might have not traveled anywhere. Some of them don't have any traveling experience. They've not been to any country. Okay. And if they've not traveled, they are just like Agbiru, who will describe the bus stop you want to get to, but they've not been there. So James Okwaba, that's my boss, Ogami Olori Odo, is asking me a question. What of in a process they cancel your application and you apply again with the same visa fee? Yes, you can apply again with the same visa fee if it's within the same year, and if your denier, the reason why they deny your application or cancel you is due to section 291 or section 221 subsection G, or due to section 214 subsection B. So you should be able to look at the document they give you, especially for United States. So they will state the reason. So if you are not able to meet up, or you are denied or cancelled based on section 214 subsection B, or section 221 subsection G, or section 291 of the Immigration and Nationality Act of the United States, you could apply again the same year without paying another visa fee. So that's that. So now Nigeria has the highest visa rejection for US in 2018. That's the current statistics that is available. And the next country to us is Iraq. Iraq has 57% visa rejection to anybody applying for US. So Nigeria and Iraq has the highest number of rejection in the world to the United States. UK, thank you very much, my leader, my youth leader, Olori Odo. So you see, to UK as well, Nigeria has the highest denial and rejection rate. According to 2019 data, it's available online. You can go through it and see some of these things I'm telling you. Nigeria has 32.16% rejection rate of UK visa. So that's the highest of any country. No, that's not the highest. I think Pakistan has 37.2. So Nigeria is the second highest country with denial visas to United Kingdom. So Pakistan has 37.2% rejection rate. Nigeria has 32.16% or 16%, and then Saudi Arabia has 0.30%. That's even less than 0.5. It's less than 1% of the people applying to come to UK from Saudi Arabia. You can see that a lot of things need to be done. We need so many things to educate people, for people to know what is, so that if people have the right information, even a lot of travel agents who are in this business, they don't really have basic information. They don't even know anything. Like, they are not updating themselves. All they want is they just push flyers online, apply for visa, come and work in UK, work in Canada, work in. Don't be deceived, my brother. Don't be deceived. Don't let these people cut your head. They are not the one giving you visa. When you give them money, you will never get that money again. Yeah, visa, yes. Visa application fee is not refunded. It's unrefundable. So any country that you apply to that require you to pay visa fee does not mean a guarantee for you to get a visa. And they're not going to refund that money, because the reason why you pay the money is part of the service they are providing by doing investigation, background check, scan trying to verify the bank statement you submit, some other basic information that they need to know. So all of those things require finances, and they use funds to ensure that officers are there to serve you, to interview you on the day you come for interview and all of that. So it's only United States of America that have been reasonable enough to say that if you are denied within some of these sections that I said within the same year, don't bother paying another money again, because they feel that within that same year your visa fee is still applicable. So let's look at Canada. Canada gives denial to 75% of applicants who are coming from who are applying from Nigeria. They've been rejected visas every now and then, and that's very huge compared to other continents in the world. So, and out of this 75% rejection, trust me, Nigeria have the highest number. Nigeria is going to have a very high number, not the highest. So there are 3 countries in Africa that have the highest number of visa denial for Canada. The first country is Algeria. 86% of applicants from Algeria to Canada are being denied, either for student visa, for family immigration, for work authorization and work visas, or for tourists, or for family. I mean, any other kind of immigration and all of those. So they deny 86% of Algeria citizens visas. And then Cameroon, 82% of applicants from Cameroon are denied visa to Canada. While Nigeria is the third in Africa with the highest number of visa denial and rejection to Canada. Nigeria has 81%. 81%. So both Nigeria and Pakistan has the same number, 81% of visa denial. So it's one of the basic reasons why all of this information I am giving out to you is important. And it's one of the reasons why we need to talk about it and see what we can put in place if you want to travel. But I also want to advise everybody that if you are migrating to any country in the world, abreast yourself with the right information. Some of those information is, where are you going to stay? In the hotel, staying with your family? How long are you going to stay? You need to put that into perspective as well. Are you traveling alone? Are you going with your family? How about the education, the school, and all? So many questions need to be answered, because I've seen a lot of people who travel, like they sell their land, sell their cars, sell their house, sell their father's farmland, all because they want to travel out of the country without asking relevant questions, and they get to those countries and they are struggling, and you see them with mental depression, with psychological trauma, because it is not the way they plan to continue with their life. Okay, Paul is asking a question. Sir, is it true that we're going to pay $11 before family documentation updating? Okay, so $11 before family documentation updating. If you want to update those informations and any other fee they ask you, of course, it's going to be online, and the US Embassy has an account where you are going to pay if they ask you to pay any fee. So once the money is coming from, if the right information is coming from the embassy and they give you the right thing to do, you need to go ahead and do it. But sometimes it is not wrong for you to ask questions. So if they ask you to pay $11, you should ask questions, and the appropriate officers, or you can even send them an email. They are very proactive to respond to your mail, and they are going to respond to all of those information. Somebody is asking a question: if granted US visa, can it be deferred? Yes. You can get a visa and not go to those countries. It's not a crime, and nobody is going to tell you why didn't you. Nobody is going to force you to do that. So there was a time I got a Schengen visa to travel to Denmark, and I had my exams. I was doing my master's exam in 2010, and I was supposed to attend a climate change conference in the was it in Denmark? Yeah, in Denmark. So I got the Schengen visa and I did not travel. So when I had till the visa expired, because it's basically 3 months. So when the visa expires and there was opportunity for me to attend an international conference again, all trip paid, in one of the countries, Sweden this time. So I apply again, and the same Schengen visa is on my passport, and it has showed that I've not traveled to that country till the passport visa expired. They ask questions if they need to, and then you give them your excuse. Yes, you're working, you're busy, your wife is pregnant, you need to support your wife, or your baby was sick and you need to support your child, you can't travel, so you have every reason to defer your visa if you don't want to travel. After all, you are going to spend your money. It's your money you're going to spend. So, and if it expires, you can go back and reapply again or do a Dropbox if you have a Dropbox. But I think Dropbox have been cancelled for Nigeria. Applicant, we hope that the new administration is going to do a lot of changes in the immigration policy that will be favorable to African immigrants, tourists, and travelers, and including especially Nigerians. And true, we're going to pay. Somebody is asking a question. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. So you can defer. You don't have to. Nobody can force you to. It's not a compulsory. It's not by force. I have friends who have US visa for 2 years and they never traveled till the 2 years visa expired, and they want to go back again. But of course, if you do not travel before your visa expires, they may ask you to come for one-on-one interview. You go for the interview and then you defend yourself. Simple as ABC. So they will ask you, oh, you got this visa and you never travel. Yes, I was too busy and there was a change of plan. Family matters. You don't have to spill the details. Family matters. They understand, you know. They don't have to dig into your privacy or personal. Oh, what? Just relax yourself. And yeah, it's a lot of challenge. At that period, I was too busy. I mean, I had a change in plan. They understand that this one, a big man, you not even ready, because it means say you get the visa and you don't even care, like, you know. So you can apply again and you always get it. The chances are very high. Okay, so I'm going to be coming to the end of this discussion today. And if you enjoyed the discussion, you can share it with your friends and your family. The disclaimer I'm going to put on this video is that I am not a travel agent. I do not work for any embassies, and I'm just sharing my personal experience with you. And if you need to make a decision about traveling, either immigration, either tourist, either student visa, or anything, please consult the embassy that you want to apply. And if you need the support of travel agents, uh, try to consult a reliable one, but let the travel agents know that you are not paying for visa to the travel agents, because it's the embassy that gets the visa application fee. And chances of you getting a visa is 50-50 depending on you. Your agent is not going to be in the interview section with you. It is to your tent, O Israel. Only you go answer your father's name. Only you go come. So agents do not need to charge you. For American visa, I'm going to collect 500,000. Now they won't design the visa. So if you know what you are doing, they will only charge you for documentation. They can ask you to pay like 20,000 or 50,000 naira. I think is also reasonable to say, oh, I will charge you 50,000 to help you put your documents together. Those documents, you have it. You go get it. If you don't have any of those things, go and get it. So do not pay 200, 300, 400,000 to any agent to travel anywhere. Even South Africa visa. South Africa visa is like 35,000 naira. So that's the application fee. So if you go to VSF office, VFS office, either in Abuja or in Lagos, to apply for South Africa visa, and when you get there, there are officers working there. They will check your application. So if your application is not completed, They will return it back to you, give you your file and say, go and bring this passport. You didn't get it. And there are people, businesses who are taking passport photograph on the spot in the VSF office. They will take the right, if you bring a passport photograph that is not correct, that the specification is not the ideal one, they'll tell you. And then you go to the business unit and then you do your photograph and they give you the correct one. And then if you have some information that is incomplete, the VSF, that's the reason why they are there. And that's why they also get their own charges from the application fee that you pay. So they will help you file it. So the work of travel agents is definitely, I don't know what their work is, you know. Travel agents, to me, I think there are people who sell tickets. If you want to fly, you want to travel, you want to go there to do your ticket reservation or buy ticket from them. That's what their work is. They're not the one giving visa to anybody, so they shouldn't be charging you so high. So if your documentation is not complete, they will not collect it. VSF will return it to you and say, go and complete this and bring it to so time. And then you come back and resubmit it. So when you submit it, they will check it again. If it is complete, then they will submit it to the embassy. And then you get your visa. And if you are not, if they confirm or do some verification and they are not convinced, you know. Okay, somebody asked a question, sir. I love your presentation. I meet you last at maybe on Dosaka during NIS. Yes, thank you so very much, my brother. This is me, Victor Laure Moshen. I actually was at Ondo. I think it's about 2 times. I've been to Akure during the, yeah, I think there was one World AIDS Day celebration we did in 2017 or 18, and the SACA with the Ministry of Health did a joint What is Day celebration, and they presented an award. So there I was at Akure in the town hall, in the secretariat there. And then for the NIS, I was also at Abuja in all the sections. So we did all of those things. So Humphrey, yes, I remember we met at those places. Okay, so these are some of the basic information I want to advise everybody. Then I also want to tell people who sell their father's house, their father's farm, and all that. Visa application fee is not that expensive, so you don't have to sell your father land, sell your father house, sell your car because you want to travel. You don't need to, because your visa fee, I've said it in my previous video. You can check some of the video I made. The visa fee is very less than 100,000, depending on the category of visa you want to apply for, especially for US. For South Africa, you pay less than 50,000. I don't know, maybe exchange of dollar is going to be a barrier, or the currency valuation is going to be affecting some of those embassies application fee, but the money are very small money. So, and the money is not a guarantee that you get a visa. So the money is that you are applying for those visa application. So the application could be rejected or could be accepted, but please do not pay so much. If you want to spend so much money, it should be when you are buying your ticket. And when you are buying your ticket, you can always get the cheaper flight if you book ahead of time. If you get your visa already and you know you want to travel by next year, Easter, for instance, which is going to be in April, there's always high traffic of travelers around that period every season. Christmas, New Year, Ramadan period, the Muslim holiday, any holiday period, a lot of travelers go in and out, and there's always high demand of tickets. And if there's high demand of tickets, there will be this inflation, economic factor. The higher the demand, the higher the price. Okay, so if there is a lower the demand, then the lower the price. So for us to be able to balance the price market, that's why aviation industry put high price, or ticketing reservation officers put high price because of high demand of travelers. So if you want to travel by April, which is Easter period, I would advise that you start buying your ticket from January. If you buy your ticket from January, you will get a very cheap ticket. And you can buy a ticket for like 250,000 naira, even to come to United States of America. You can get flight for like 300,000 naira to come to United States of America, to and fro. And you'll be seated next to an individual who do not plan ahead of time, who just buy ticket like a week or a few days to the traveling, maybe at 800,000 or 1 million naira. Yes, people buy ticket for 1 million, 1.2. It's not business class. I'm not even talking about business class or I'm talking about the general economic class. So booking ahead of time is the only reason why I think people can pay so much money, not when you want to apply for visa. So be smart and let the travel agent, if anybody is going to help you, let them know that you know what you're doing. So, guys, you can always join us sometimes to listen to Sorosuke Radio. We are always Sorosuke in here, and we're giving people tips that is going to better you and make sure that you enjoy yourself. Edema Timileyin Adedeji. That's my brother. Thank you so very much for this wonderful time. I'm going to go with Evangelist Remi. See me cause they show me it's okay. Thank you guys. Ṣùgbọ́n thank you guys. Oh, John Kenny. It's okay. Ẹ lọ sọ fún àwọn tó fẹ́ gbé mi gòkè. Wípé sọ fún àwọn tó fẹ́ gbé mi gòkè. Wípé àkókò ti tó láti fà mí sókè. If you like the video, share it, okay? Thank you, Edema. Ẹ lọ sọ fún àwọn tó fẹ́ gbé mi gòkè. Ẹ lọ sọ fún àwọn tó fẹ́ gbé mi gòkè. Wípé àkókò ti tó láti fà mí sókè. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Bye. Share the video if you like it.